Hey guys, so I'm going to go ahead and start this off by applying some primer to my lids. I already have a piece of tape lined up, and I just do this to kind of keep, you know, my cat eye or whatever wing liner I want to be nice and crisp. I do not want it to be messy, so I'm taking the Lorac Behind the Scenes eye primer and a brush to apply it all over my entire eyelid. And I'm going to go ahead and bring it up to my brow. I have my nails done, I do my own, and I made them a little bit too long this time around, so it's a little hard to apply primer and things with my fingers at this moment, and brushes are pretty handy. So okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a black liner. This one's from e.l.f. and I'm going to go along the edge of my waterline, or not waterline, sorry, upper lash line. I just woke up, guys. Like, literally. I just woke up. I received this Kat Von D palette in the mail yesterday, and I didn't have time to play with it, so first thing when I woke up, I was like playing with it. So, yeah, I'm gonna be goofing around with this probably all day today. We'll see. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of blend this out a little bit. So I'm going to take a brush here and just kind of make sure it's right along the lashes, and I'm going to blend it upwards and outwards a little bit. Smudge the top edge, so that way I have a really nice transition into another color. We're going to use a color in the metal matte palette. The color I am using is going to be Suede, which is right there. And I'm going to use this just in my crease, right above that black. It's going to help soften the green that I'm going to be going in with afterwards. I'm going to grab a shade in here called Stone. It is a matte deep gray, and I'm going to grab quite a bit of that. I'm going to apply it right on top of where I applied that black liner and smudged it out. But I am stopping at my crease. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a blending brush real fast. I'm just going to kind of blend that smoky stone color out a bit, just on the top part, like where it meets the very edge of that black liner. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take a kind of, it's like a flat fluffy brush. I'm going to grab a shade called Moss. And I'm going to apply it right on top of the very edge of where we applied Stone. And I'm putting it in the crease. Now after I've pat it on a bit, I'm going to go ahead and blend a little bit upwards and outwards. I'm going to take that same blending brush that I used earlier, and I'm going to soften the edge here. And then I'm going to go ahead and take a brush to apply my highlight, and the color I'm going to use on my brow bone is going to be called Bone. Now I did apply it a little heavy, and it's because I'm going to be blending it into that other shade right below it. So I'm going to take that blending brush again, and I'm just going to go upwards and outwards. So I'm going to take a liner, and the liner that I'm going to use is by Colourpop. It is in Swerve. And I'm going to take a brush, obviously, to line that because that's kind of important. So I'm going to create a small wing. Now, I'm not going to do this on camera because it's hard to do. My camera is actually really close. I have it like zoomed out, but it's incredibly close, and I do not wear contacts when I apply my makeup. Okay, guys, so the next step might be just a smidge tricky. I'm going to take the e.l.f. glitter glue, and I'm going to use a color called Tinsel from this palette, which is amazing, by the way. Now I'm going to use a brush to apply my glitter glue because I don't want it to be super chunky. So what I do is I take just a little bit on my brush here. I can squeeze some out. There we go. And I just put it on the back of my hand just to make sure I've got like the right amount. And then I'm going to pat it in the very, very center of my lid. Next, I'm going to grab a little bit of tinsel with my finger. I'm going to pat it directly on that. What I'm going to do is take like a little pencil brush. I'm going to grab a little bit of that color Stone. And I'm going to just kind of very, very gently pat it on each edge of the glitter to kind of help encompass it. Time for liner. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Colourpop gel liner, gel cream liner, cream gel color is what it's called. And this is in Swerve. It's black, so it's just a plain black color, and I'm going to do a little wing along the tape, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry, and while I'm waiting for the liner to dry, I'm going to go ahead and do the under part of my eye. So what I have used is a black liner, and the one that I'm using is actually from Revlon, so it's a really cheap one from the drugstore, but it's really, really good. I like it a lot. It is the Luxurious Color in Black Velvet, and I'm going to go ahead and do my waterline real fast. And then I'm going to grab some of it and pull it down onto my actual lash line. I'm going to take the smudging side of it and smudge it out a bit. I'm going to take a pencil brush. I'm going to grab a little bit of Moss again, which is that really pretty matte dark green. And I'm going to just kind of smudge it into it. This is really, really pretty. I like it a lot. Now I'm going to do my mascara, which is going to be a little crazy. I'm using 2 coats of the Fiber Lashes from Wet n Wild. So I'm going to go in with the mascara first. I'm going to make sure those bad boys are coated very, very thoroughly. And then I'm going to take the lash fibers from the set and apply those. I'm going to let that dry for about a minute, and then I'm going to come back in with another coat. So I will go ahead and do that off camera, but I'm putting one more coat on top of it, and then I'm going to do my lower lashes, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so it's already dried. I'm going to go ahead and take the tape off, and that way you guys can see this is what's going on so far. I'm going to go ahead and use a concealer because I need to lighten up some areas, and I'm going to go ahead and move my palette so that way it's like, you know, not at risk for falling or anything, because I freaking love it and I'd cry really hard if something happened to it. I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Illuminaughty highlighting pen. This is in Ivory into You, which is so cheesy, but it's good. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this right underneath my eye, and I use a damp beauty blender to blend this out. Now I feel like someone from like a death metal band. I'm like crazy. Go ahead and set that. I'm using the e.l.f. HD powder, and this is in the Corrective Yellow. I misplaced my Prime and Stay powder from e.l.f., which was like my holy grail favorite thing ever, and I keep trying to place an order, but it's always sold out, so I'm a little sad about that. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of, you know, blend this into that cream highlighter or concealer. Great. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do next is do my contouring, and for that I will be using a palette from e.l.f., and this is a foundation palette because I went on a trip and I misplaced my Prime and Stay and my contour that's a cream palette from e.l.f. I know, it stinks. I don't know what I did with them, but anywho, so I'm using the foundation palette in medium dark. just to show you guys what I'm working with here, I'm using this color right here to kind of, you know, carve out my cheeks a little bit and slim my face. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. I don't normally worry about my forehead too much. You guys know I have bangs, so it's kind of like no one ever really sees this anyways. But for shits and giggles, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So next, I'm going to go ahead and take a powder. I'm using one from MAC. This is a Mineralize Skinfinish Natural in medium deep. And I'm going to use this to help set my contour. So it gives a pretty nice, like, shadow. It's a little bit warm, I feel, but it's what I've been using for a bit. So this is the look so far. I'm going to go ahead and do my blush, which I have decided that I'm going to use an Hourglass blush for this look because I feel like it just, like, on the side it just looks so good. Like, anyways, I could ramble about it all day. This is the Ambient Lighting Blush in Mood Exposure, which is beautiful. And I'm going to grab a little bit because this is kind of pigmented. So start on the outer edge of my face and bring it inwards. I always do this because I'd rather make a mistake on the edge of my face versus putting like too much product right there in like the center of the face, you know, because that can get a little crazy and a little out of hand real fast. So now we have the blush, everything's good. I need a highlighter. For that, I am using a highlighter from Becca. This is the Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed in Moonstone. And I felt like this would help kind of lighten the, like, the rosy cheeks. Something like this kind of color, it's like a champagne, like a very pale champagne. It's gonna help, like, give a little bit of boost in between the green matte eye and that blush, which is perfect. So, without further ado, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and just beat my face with a highlighter so that way I look incredibly shiny. Shine bright like a diamond, baby. Shine bright like a diamond. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get my chin and my Cupid's bow. And then just a little bit on my nose. I don't want my nose to be like super shiny because I'm not trying to, you know, I don't have a runway around me. I'm not trying to like flag planes down. I'm actually going to use some Colourpop products. This is a Lippie, it's a matte Lippie in Platforrm, and then I have a Lippie pencil in BFF. So I figured I'd kind of keep it low key because the eyes are like out there. So I'm going to go ahead and do my lips first with the liner. And then I'm going to use this liquid lipstick here with a lip brush. So I am in love with this palette. Like, this is the only palette I purchased from the holiday collection, I guess, or any type of holiday palette so far. Like, you guys are gonna see a ton of this, so just heads up, and I do apologize. It's just how it's gonna be. You know how I am. I love bold colors. And I have like eyeshadow on that matches like the tips of my hair, so I'm like green everywhere. I'm loving it. Yeah, so if you guys were gonna get a holiday palette this year, let me know which ones you guys are most interested in. And if you've had the chance to try this, let me know what your favorite combinations are in this. Oh my gosh, it's just, this thing is fan-fucking-tastic, okay? It's beautiful, it's amazing. Pigmentation is great. Longevity of the eyeshadow, boom. Kat Von D, thank you so much for just being awesome. And you know, making cool palettes for bold girls like myself. I greatly appreciate it. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the look, and if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you guys know how to reach me. Bye!